It's my pleasure to introduce to you today Phil Nordella. Phil is in California and has been a recent recipient of Broker Agent of the Month. Out of 250,000 agents nationally, Phil will be recognized as this month's Broker Agent of the Month in California. And I am proud to have played a role in finding Phil and arriving at a place where Phil is being recognized. And Phil, I just want to say congratulations, and I appreciate you joining me on this video today.
You know what's funny is you just said that, gave me goosebumps. That's awesome. You know what? Obviously, it's a huge honor. I can't tell you. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, 30 years, just under 30 years, and this is probably one of the highlights of my career right here. And so I so appreciate what you've done for me, and thank you so much.
Yeah, I get to talk to a lot of agents, and it's a privileged position I have, and the fact that I got to interview you and find you, frankly, and there are a lot of great men and women in real estate, and that's what this is all about, and you're certainly one of them. I thought about, instead of just obviously congratulating you, I thought maybe we'd explore a couple of questions that I have that might allow people that see this video to get some insight into who you are, if you're okay with it.
Absolutely. Shoot.
30 years is a long time, Phil.
Yeah,
what was the inspiration 30 years ago to get into this business specifically? Talk to me a little bit about your background and how you arrived there.
Well, you know what's funny is I always liked sales. Okay, I started when I was in my early 20s selling alarm systems. They made me a manager when I was 21. I left them and started my own company when I was 23. Wow. And I sold and basically retired when I was 30. I was selling alarm systems. I put in 2,000 alarm systems and I sold it for just under $2 million when I was 30. And I went, you know what? I'm good. I mean, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I know how to knock doors. I know how to do all of the things that you need to do to actually get clients. And but I went from there into, I wanted to be an actor. So I went from there and I opened up my own movie production company because I was getting some acting work. Produced a feature film that I starred in, and everything was great. And then all of a sudden I realized, you know what? The money's not coming in, the money's going out. And so I thought, if I'm going to get back into sales, what should I do? And I thought, you know, it's perfect to get into real estate. It's high ticket. I like the idea behind real estate. And I think it would be, I thought it would be really a lot of fun. It was a lot harder than I thought. The first 6 months, I didn't make a sale. Didn't really have any help. So I decided, you know what, I've got to learn it on my own. And so I did. And in the next 6 months of my first year, I made 10 sales. But then something clicked and I started prospecting and knocking doors and do all the things you need to do. And the second year I made 60 sales, and the third year I made over 100 sales. And then I made a mistake. And I don't want to say it was a complete mistake, but I bought 33% of the company. We had 100 agents at the time, and I grew that to just under 600 realtors, which was terrific. But the thing that it took me away from is it took me away from selling. And I love to sell. I like the meeting people. I like the face-to-face marketing. I like taking someone who's a complete stranger, and at the end of a transaction, all of a sudden, you know, they're one of your closest friends. And to me, that interaction is everything. And so I actually left the company that I was with a couple of years ago and said, you know, I want to get back to selling. And I couldn't really do that while I owned the company because the agents were getting upset. And I get that. You know, if you're an owner, you're an owner. If you're a salesman, you're a salesman. If you're an owner and a salesman, then you're taking business away from the, I get it. So I thought, no, you know what, it's time for me to move on. I sold out. I sold to my business partner and went on my own. I'm with EXP now. And that made the most sense to me, which was terrific. And the things that I'm doing now are exactly what I was doing before to grow your business. Mm-hmm. And I'm so excited about being back into what I was doing before. And I've been trying some things, and some of them work, some of them don't. But I got to tell you something, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now, I've never been happier, knock on wood. I've never been happier than where I am right now. And it's exciting. It's exciting.
Good for you. I think we all, you know, we should all be so lucky as to generally be satisfied with what we're spending our day doing, right? To create money and to take care of our well-being, right? And whatever well-being and success looks like for whoever's watching this is defined by them. But to arrive at a place where we're happy and you know, we just generally feel good about it is a pretty special place to be. And part of what kind of pulled me into you as we were kind of exploring you being recognized for this accolade. And so I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're in Santa Clarita, California. You're in a competitive state, frankly. There's lots of real estate agents, but that certainly is a competitive market also.
Yeah.
Tell me what's unique about it. What makes it such a special place to do what you do, and why do people love living there, and why is that such a great place to live, work, and play?
Well, you kind of have to get an idea of what our area is all about. Okay, first thing, you have Los Angeles, right? Okay, Los Angeles, big, huge city. Then just outside of Los Angeles, as you go north, you go into the San Fernando Valley. I was born and raised in San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
I've actually lived in Santa Clarita, which is just north of that, for a very long time. I got married, raised my kids here. Everything was great. I love it here just for the fact that it's far enough away from the hustle and bustle of the city. And it's also far enough away from the San Fernando Valley, which gets a little crazy when it comes to the diversity and everything that's just wild when it comes to the competition when it comes to real estate. Santa Clarita has got a couple 100,000 people. It's always been known for the safety when it comes to a city of its size in the country. Like, we're like the top 5 usually,
Wow.
which is awesome. It's a place where, you know, you want to raise your kids, and it's a safe place, and and yet it's still close to everything else, right? If I decided that I wanted to go in and go to a really incredible 5-star restaurant that I could in the Valley or in LA, not that we don't have great restaurants here, but I'm still close enough to where I can actually be productive out here and yet be close enough to everything else, which is nice. So
Yeah.
I like it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know part of the conversations that we've had previously, you've talked about the role you play in mentoring newer agents and trying to play a role in helping, you know, as most people, maybe not that watch this video, most agents that get in the business don't get to year 2. They don't finish year 2, right? It's a really tough industry to get into and have success in. And you've talked about the benefit that you derive personally from helping mentor and help young agents try to find success in this business. What's one piece of advice that you might offer, not necessarily a young agent, but a peer in the business based on 30 years of experience and having a lot of success in this business?
Well, first thing, no matter what, you have to understand it's cyclical. Okay, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. No matter what, you have to be ready for everything. Okay, the newer agents, they have a preconceived notion of what it is, and they don't understand that it's hard work. You know, and if they can grasp the idea that it is hard work. In the beginning, it's not necessarily about learning every single contract and all of these things. It's learning how to prospect. If you prospect and you have someone to actually talk to, then you can always get the help of someone else, a mentor, whatever, and you can go talk to them and maybe take it together. Okay. So I see a lot of actual agents, they're on their own. They go with some of these companies that just don't have great training. And I don't want to put them down. It's just that one of those things to where the trainer is a 9-to-5er. You know, I'll answer your questions while I got you. But, you know, as soon as you get a listing appointment, go on out and good luck, right? Well, in the beginning, you can't do that. So what I do with my people, and I really, truly try to give something back. It's important to me because I've been so blessed and I've been so lucky with everything that I've actually had. I try to actually help people and give them the help that I never had when I started. So I try to actually teach them, okay, this is how to prospect. And then you know what we're going to do is we're going to actually go on this listing together. I'm going to actually show you what it's like, and then we're going to close it together so that you're learning while you're earning. Because one of the reasons why 95% of people fail when it comes to real estate is because they run out of money. They get to a point where they're like, you know what, I've been doing this for 7 months. I haven't gotten a dime. And you can't do that. It's impossible. Unless you're rich, you just can't do that. So we try to, what I try to do is I try to actually get people to come in with me that want the help and are able to say, okay, I'm just going to learn how to prospect in the beginning. And then while they're learning how to prospect, I bring in the actual classes of you know, all of the contracts and all of the different compartments that they need to learn. They need to learn the computer. They need to learn how to actually pull listings and show listings and do all of these things. And we slowly do that, but I got to make sure that they're making some money as soon as possible. Right.
Right.
So that's for the new agents. For the existing agents, I would say, hey, you know what? It's just important to know that you're going to have good years. You're going to have bad years, but you should always be constantly trying new things. You should say, okay, what else can I do? It's one of those things to where I'm always thinking, what else can I do to see if I can't get myself out there? And now I've got probably 5 different things that I'm working. One of them being my radio show, which has been a big, huge, right? I'm on every Friday mornings, KHTS 1220 AM, 98.1 FM, your hometown station here in Santa Clarita, right? With my co-host, she's a real estate attorney, and she's the president of the Santa Clarita Valley Bar Association, and she's very smart. It's a good show. We put it together. It's just 1 hour every week, but this actually puts us out there and gives us huge credibility. Okay. And then when it comes to doing the things that I do and I give to anybody, it has to be first class. So if I were to actually show you, if I dropped off something to you today, it would come in something like this. It's the folder, and it's pretty darn, oh, what's that?
I saw that.
Okay, that goes in everything now, right?
Yes, nice.
That's impressive. Okay. Here we've got this when it comes to why you should listen with me. And here we've got something else here that actually goes over the radio show. And so we try to get people to call in, and it's terrific. And that's just one compartment that I do when it comes to advertising myself. And you have to understand, you can't just do one thing. You can take one thing and do it really well, and then say, okay, that's going to be good for so many sales a year.
Right.
But then the next thing is you got to say, okay, what else can I do to bring in 3 or 4 sales? What else can I do to bring in another 5 sales? What else? And then all of a sudden you realize you're doing all of these things, and you're going to have 30, 40, 50, 60 sales a year. I trained my son from nothing to now he's making 70 sales a year out in Oxnard, and he's crushing it because he just learns in practical application. You learn and then you do.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love having an idea, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I could do this, and if I do it this way, and then all of a sudden you see it grow, and then you see it reap the benefits. That to me is exciting. Yeah,
and I think what I'm hearing you say and your different ideas as it relates to marketing is there's an element of differentiation that's involved in the effort that you're applying to it, right? Yep. Like we talked about earlier, it's a highly competitive industry. Everybody knows 4 or 5 agents. There are lots of real estate agents. And so what can I do to offer value in a meaningful way that changes the way I'm perceived in the local market? And I think a radio show would do something like that, right? You're now perceived as an expert, and no surprise it's been successful for you.
There's not a lot of people out there that would put themselves on the line and be able to say, you know what, let's take call-ins. Ask me anything. It's not a problem. I've got the answer. You know,
that's right.
A lot of agents would go, oh yeah, I'm not ready for that, right? And so, not to mention what that does also, when I have to put together our show every week, what that does is that makes me learn everything about everything when it comes to real estate, because I have to actually be able to speak and talk about all different forms of everything that's going on in this business. I know more now in the year and a half that I've done the radio show than I've ever known in the entire business. And I've had guests on like the president of NAR, president of CAR, you know, I mean, just all sorts of people that are really, really good, you know, catches when it comes to the show. And I have to be smart when I'm talking to these people, because, you know, you can't, you got to bring something to the table, because
it makes you accountable,
exactly.
Right? Just makes you accountable to you, right? And who you want to be and how you want to represent your clients. And I think it's brilliant. And anytime we can fold in a layer of personal accountability that requires us to continue to learn and grow. I'm a big fan of continuous improvement, right? So you built in an approach that requires that you continuously improve, and that can only have benefits.
I have no choice. I have no choice but to be smart. By the end of every week, I've got to have all new things. I got to know exactly what's going on, and I love it. I didn't think I would, but I do.
Yeah, well, it comes out of you with your energy, and that was one of the reasons that I gravitated to you when we first connected. I found a testimonial of yours online, and I thought it would be good, just in a pragmatic way, to share what a client, how they describe working with you, just as a way of demonstrating one of the reasons that you were selected. It said, I had the most amazing experience with Phil, representing me both in selling and buying my home. His knowledge of the market and negotiating skills were superb. He was available to me at all hours to answer questions and to give me advice. Not only has he been my realtor, but now several family members and friends have requested him to be their agent. I could not be more pleased with the process and end result. Thanks, Phil. And then I won't go on to mention their names, but anytime, and you've got quite a few of these, but this is a validation in what you aspire to be, right? And how you want people to feel through your representation. And so, yeah, congrats on the positive feedback and congrats on the accolade.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? That really truly is what it's all about. You know, when you can actually take somebody who you don't know and turn them into somebody that not only is somebody that wants to do business with you, but is also your champion, that is unbelievable. And that's why when it comes to this, I know it sounds funny, but it's Phillip Nordella and Associates. I always put it's a real estate experience. Okay. It's not just, look, I'm not going to sell you a house. It's going to be an experience. And not only do I excel on what I know and how I can keep you out of trouble and actually have a good, nice, smooth transaction, but I'm also going to be able to make sure that it's going to be fun and we're going to take the pressure off. There's not going to be any stress because it's a very, you know, you don't understand it because we as realtors, we do it all the time, but sometimes you just don't understand. It's stressful for these people. And
Right.
the more that you can relieve that stress, the better. And that is something that I excel in. I also see problems before they happen, right? So I can take care of them so that they never even knew that there was a problem because we all
Right.
have, there's always problems, right?
Sure.
We're always dealing with some kind of agent that's going to do this or try to get away with this and all of these things. Well, you know what? We can take care of that. And I can see it before and take care of it before they even know so that they don't lose any sleep,
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
nice.
So if people watching this wanted to get a hold of you and were interested in connecting with you, what's the best couple ways for them to find you and track you down?
I would say probably get on my website first. It's just my name, philnordella.com, philnordella.com. They can call me directly if they have any questions, if they need anything. Like I said, I'm all about giving something back. They can call me directly anytime. I shouldn't say anytime. I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I go to sleep. I fall asleep. I pass out really because I just am exhausted by about 8:30 at night. So if they call me after that, they're going to get, you know, they're going to get, hi, this is Phil, you know, leave me a message. But if they want to call me at 661-312-3561, be more than happy to answer any questions for them. Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you joining me. It's been a privilege to play a role in you earning this special accolade. And thanks for being here. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Really, truly.
You're welcome.